The Monaco Grand Prix. And Formula One goes racing on the streets of Monaco.
Monaco GP is not elite anymore. Yeah, I'm saying it straight because right now it's full of boring influencers. Open Instagram, the same video, 50 different people, yacht, pose champagne, same angle, no difference. And, you know, what's the worst part? People still think this is exclusive. It's not because something truly elite doesn't repeat itself. But Monaco right now is all repetition, same scenes, same moves. Same people being there doesn't mean anything anymore because everyone is there and everyone is doing the exact same thing. But here's the truth. Someone who actually lives that life doesn't need to prove it. They experience it even if they share. They already know that's why they don't use Monaco. They don't show off, they don't force it, they don't turn every moment into content. But what do we see now? A checklist yacht, photo, champagne video, paddock shot story. And let's be honest, are these people really there for the race? How many of them actually follow Formula One? How many know the drivers? How many understand what's happening on track? Almost none, because it's not about the race, it's about being seen. And that's why the content feels empty, because there's no depth, just surface aesthetic, but no meaning. And you can feel that. That's why it doesn't impress anymore. You just scroll because you've already seen it 10 times, 20 times, maybe 100 times. And at some point your brain just goes, nothing new. And that's where the value disappears, because the more something repeats, the more ordinary it becomes, and elite ends the moment it becomes ordinary. But honestly, the real issue isn't Monaco, it's how people misunderstand what elite actually means, because now people don't want to experience things, they want to prove them. It's not about where you go, it's about what you post from there, and that changes everything, because now experiences aren't lived from the inside out. They're lived from the outside in first. You think, how will this look? Then you live it. And that's why everything looks the same, because everyone is optimizing the same thing. How do I look more elite? How do I look richer? How do I look like I belong? But someone who truly belongs doesn't think like that, because for them, it's not a performance, but influencer culture is built on performance. And Monaco is the peak of that performance, a stage, but a bad one, because everyone is playing the same role. No one is actually being themselves. Everyone is just who they think they're supposed to be. And that's why everything feels fake, and people feel it, maybe not consciously, but they do. That's why we get bored. That's why we scroll. That's why we forget, because there's no real emotion, just visuals, but visuals alone aren't enough at some point. You want something real, a story, a feeling, and Monaco content doesn't give you that. It just shows, it doesn't make you feel. That's why nobody says wow anymore, they just think again. And when something becomes again, it's over. And maybe the most uncomfortable truth is this. Today, everyone is trying to look elite, but no one is actually interested in being elite, because real elitism can't be bought, can't be copied, and definitely can't be achieved overnight. But what we see now is exactly that fast elitism. One weekend, a few invites, a few good photos, and suddenly it looks like you belong, but looking like it is not the same as being it. And people are starting to see that. That's why the old impact is gone. That's why the wow is gone, because our eyes are trained. Now we've seen it too many times. We can tell what's real and what's not. And now the game is changing. The one who's quieter becomes more interesting, because silence builds trust, and that's what real elitism is. Confidence, not needing to prove anything. So maybe the real question is, do you want to be elite or just look like it? Because those are not the same thing. And Monaco is where that difference is the most visible. So yeah, Monaco GP is not elite anymore. And that's not a bad thing. It just proves one thing. Elitism is not about a place. It's about a mindset. And that mindset is never in the crowd. It stays a little distant, a little quiet, and most of the time completely unseen. Maybe that's why the most elite things in life are the ones we barely ever see, because they were never meant to be shown.